Hi there, Agile friends. Get ready for the World Tour of Agile at the Agile Online Summit 2023. You can join us from October 24th to 26th for a global showcase of cutting-edge Agile practices and insights. Join us at agileonlinesummit.com. This year, we will be featuring some of the best work done around the world and world-class keynotes. You can check all of that at agileonlinesummit.com. But the best part is that your ticket is on us. That's right, it's free to attend and immerse yourself in the world of Agile excellence. Don't miss out on this opportunity to level up your skills and network with peers and industry experts. Mark your calendars and secure your spot at AOS 23 today by visiting agileonlinesummit.com. So get your free ticket or opt for the full digital pass that lets you keep all the conference videos forever and organize, why not, Agile learning sessions at work. You can get the full digital access at agileonlinesummit.com. I'll see you in the conference floor. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Thursday, the retrospective and success day here on the podcast. And this week we have with us Tom Siebeneicher. Hey, Tom, welcome back.
Yeah, great to be here again.
So, Tom, on Thursdays, we'll talk about success, and we will. But before that, we also need to talk about something that is so important. We mentioned it earlier already this week on how retrospectives done right can have a big impact or a not so big impact, at least over time. That was your story. Share with us, what's your favorite retrospective format and why?
My favorite retrospective format, to be honest, is being in the one room, everyone is in that room, we're all together, and just do a simple start, stop, continue, because it can peel so much stuff out. So I keep it really simple, but I try to do it offline, everyone in one room, and sit together at the same table.
And in your mind, like what are the aspects when you run that start, stop, continue retrospective format? What are the aspects that make it so much better when everybody is in the same room? What do you pay attention to?
I think for me, if I do a retrospective like this, it's actually not the retrospective itself, it's the minutes before the retrospective. So do the people come with the coffee or something to drink in their hand? How's their feelings? So are they relaxed? Are they open to it? Do they really want to be there? Are they actually under pressure because right after the retrospective, they have to do something else, and all these kinds of tiny things you better sense if you see them, if you sit with them together. These are the really, really important things to me. I mean, I also do it if I'm doing a remote retrospective, right? I check with everyone. Are you relaxed? Are you ready for it? Can we do this meeting now? Do you feel comfortable? And all this kind of stuff. But in a room, I don't know why it's just easier to sense these kind of things. And then in the retrospective itself is as stupid as it sounds, because it's a simple retrospective. I always repeat what we want to do. So retrospective is a safe space. Everyone can share their feelings. What happens in the room can stay in the room. And we really think about things we as a team want to improve. And so often I hear, yeah, we know what it is about. But at the same time, I also hear so often, good that you repeated at the beginning because it triggered my thinking. So setting the scene and setting up the goals for the meeting always helps.
Yeah, I think what you just said is very important, right? Setting the scene. It doesn't always have a big impact, but when it does, it's really important, right? And it's so quickly done and it's so easy to do, right? Like you said a few things. It's a safe space. What's said in the room can stay in the room. Like we don't need to go and share it. I think this is so important, right? Because then it gives people the permission to really come in and say, okay, now it's, let's do this, right? The setting the scene, is also, it's not just about getting everybody to check in with themselves and be there, right? Like be present, but it's also giving people a clear sign that this is not yet another meeting, right?
Yeah.
And I think we very often forget that retrospectives are not a meeting. They are a way for us to come together and share some of the pains and struggles, but also some of the successes and the things we want to be thankful for, which are important for us as humans. And before anything else, we work with humans. And I think that so often we forget that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And so often it's also the tiny things or the things which are happening around the team, which can be important as well. For example, I had a client a while ago where I was acting as a interim Scrum Master because the actual Scrum Master was out of the team because he was on sick leave for quite a while. And I knew that the retrospective, I think, was on a Thursday at 10, maybe 11, it doesn't matter. But right after the retrospective, there was a big invitation for a company wide town hall because they wanted to announce organizational changes. It doesn't make sense to do retrospective right before a big town hall because everyone is nervous. Everyone wants to know what in the town hall is happening. So they are just in a totally different state of mind. So what we did, and I asked them a day before, let's push it by a day, right? Everyone said, yes, please, let's push it by a day. No one dared to ask because cadence, cadence, cadence. Everyone wanted to stick to their schedule, but they also recognize my head is somewhere else. It's not for me today, and yeah, all these things can matter as well.
Absolutely. And they so often matter so much, right? Because if
Yes.
our head is somewhere else, we're not going to be there. We're not going to be able to participate and get the value out of it. That was a great story, right? But we're talking about retrospectives because we want, as Scrum Masters, to be successful at what we do. So, Tom, share with us, what's your definition of success for a Scrum Master?
So for me, a success, especially if we think about the Scrum Master, is that if the team has the safety to share what are the impediments, and the impediments will be solved collaboratively as fast as possible. So that everyone has the trust in each other, that we get the things off the table and can improve the way we are working. So this, for me, as a Scrum Master, is really important. That triggers also my thinking. So what can I do to get the people together, that we are working hand in hand and collaborate on what the team needs to really deliver their value to the organization or to the end customer right away.
And of course, as we think about that, does the team have the safety to share and work on the impediments? Are the impediments solved quickly? How can we help the teams collaborate? All of those are important questions for us to ask ourselves. But how do we actually answer those? So, what are the signs? What are the things, the small things or the big things that you're looking at as a Scrum Master and as an Agile coach to answer these questions?
Yeah, I think the first thing is, are there actually impediments? So is the team really bringing them up? So, for example, quite often I have seen organizations or teams where they say, actually, uh, nothing can be improved. We are good. We have no issues. Everything is fine.
We're good is always a sign for me.
Yes, and for me as well, that's the first trigger. We are good. Yeah, well, are you actually? And then observing a little bit, and then, I mean, between the lines, or even directly, someone say, come on, this doesn't work. Because there's always something which can be improved. I think that's the one thing I watch out for. And the other thing is then, if we think about impediments and if we actually solve them, do the things improve, or do we just make things worse by fixing things? So, for example, sometimes I have also seen organizations, giving one example, let's automate our testing pipeline. So let's automate, let's use a platform for that, blah, 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 because it will make us better in testing. We did that, we implemented that, and afterwards the team had way more pressure than before because the pipeline would test a lot and would bring up things which are actually not a bug. It's just something which maybe was missed or wrongly defined and this kind of stuff. So again, going back to measuring actually success, I think that is a really, really important thing. And one line I really like, but I have to honestly admit I never achieved this with a team, is a good Scrum Master will make himself obsolete. Because ideally, this continuous improvement, this sticking to Scrum, this having this behavior is ingrained in the team. So the team knows, let's do a retrospective, and we need to do our rituals. We need to be there and so forth. So I had one team which was really nice. They actually said, Tom, we don't need you in the daily. So if you don't have time, we are good. We do the daily. And another guy from the team said to me, Tom, I like retrospectives. Can I organize them? I said, well, feel free. If it makes you happy, if you have time, go ahead. So, and over time, all my rituals went away, not because I pushed them on them. It's just each and everyone from the team came to me and said, I have ideas. Can I do it? Can I give it a try? So I think my Scrum Master role over time was really on, okay, is there an impediment I can help with? I can steer them. Or is there something I can help the PO with? rather than taking care of the meetings, taking care of the rhythm. They did all this stuff by themselves. And they teased each other a little bit, right? So they had a definition of done. And then one of the team members would say, to be honest, without even looking at the PO, this item is not done because we didn't follow our definition of done. And one of the other team members said, you're right. Let's bring it up in the retrospective because I think we can change that. And all these discussions, all these things, all these interactions, whole self-organizations happened totally without me. So that was
one of the things that you just said is very important. Are people actually being honest and critical, but feeling safe about it, right? Like, so one thing is to be critical, and then that triggers defensive mechanisms. That is already a red flag. But if somebody is critical, to be honest, this item isn't done, and everybody, yeah, that's true. Actually, what could we do to improve it? There's no defensiveness there, right? Like there's an acceptance that we have that shared understanding, and it indeed isn't working as we want it. Let's do something about it. And when we have that kind of open and collaborative conversation, I think that's a win, right? And that's actually a very important aspect. Do we see that people are having that honest and open communication with each other?
Yes, I totally agree. And as I said, I think it's really hard to achieve. And I have seen it so often that the people are striving for it. But I mean, sometimes also organizations or especially bigger organizations do this. Let's take the Scrum Master role away because we are mature enough. But you cannot just say every team is on the same maturity level. You cannot just apply to each and every team and each and every combination, because there will be combinations out of people where going without a Scrum Master just doesn't work because the mix is not feeling right. And that's why it's a big risk. Yes, I think there will be teams on this earth which can totally survive in a really good setting without a Scrum Master who is dedicated because they're so self-organized. But just take everyone away, I think that doesn't work.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Tom.
Happy to.
Part of a successful Scrum Master job is to help the product owner. Tomorrow we explore that critical role in Scrum, the product owner role. Tune in to learn about product owner anti-patterns, what you can do to help the product owner, and a real-life example of what a great product owner is and what made it so. Tomorrow on our Friday Product Owner episode. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.